Hey guys, it's a massive heat wave all over the world, and the UK is just crazily hot, but not as bad as Tokyo or some other places at the moment. It's Numistaka, and I'm back with you for another in the series of mega grading, mega results, where people send me their coins from YouTube, from Silver Forum, from Facebook, from everywhere, and I send their coins for grading and show the coins coming in on YouTube, and then we do the grading and take a look at the results that come out the other side of the NGC slabbing sausage machine. Today we've got some coins which you've seen quite a lot of in the past, but I haven't really shown you or talked about very much over the last few weeks, and that is Chinese Panda coins. And I think Chinese pandas have had a bit of a hard time over the last few months, and prices really went up throughout the world, led by China, actually. And they've come off the boil a little bit, and now is probably quite a good time to be going out in the market and trying to find the rarest of the Chinese Panda series. There were a lot of Panda medals and a lot of Panda special editions produced last year, and there was almost too many of them for quite a small marketplace. And as a result, those kind of things have also come off the boil. But I've noticed quite a lot of people now hunting down those kind of things as bargain hunters. And I've noticed quite a big upswing in prices realized on eBay for some of the rarer Chinese medal editions from Nanjing Mint and Shenyang Mint. So there's a whole variety of different pandas here, and if you want to find out more about pricing of gold pandas, I recommend the China Price Pedia. This is the latest edition. This is Peter Anthony's edition of the China Coin and Medal Price Guide, and it's available on subscription from pandacollector.com, and I would certainly recommend it. Every visible sale of pandas throughout the world in China, on eBay and in other places, gets logged by Peter and his team, and that provides probably the best visibility of pricing at different grades for China pandas that you will find. And the subscription isn't too much money, but it's certainly, if you are going to be going out in the market, it tells you exactly what these things are trading at and is updated every month. So let's have a look at some China pandas. You'll find a whole variety of China Panda editions going back to the mid 1980s, and every year there are more of these produced. The mintages were actually very, very restrained generally, apart from the odd year, up to 2008. From 2009 onwards, I think they really started to grow. Whether they're going to end up melting all of those, maybe there was a bit of overproduction. There's certainly been, I think, a reluctance amongst collectors to plough money in, apart from at bullion value, to the very latest Chinese pandas. And generally, there are too many of them around to be really rare. However, there are a lot of people that collect these half-ounce and quarter-ounce pandas, particularly, going back throughout all the years, and they do make quite an interesting collection, and they do trade at quite a lot above spot, and some of the rarest ones change hands for many thousands of dollars for even a half an ounce of gold. You will find when you look at these coins, the older ones have a denomination up to 100 yuan, and the later ones have got a denomination of up to 500 yuan. So you're looking here at a 50 yuan gold coin in terms of its denomination, And if you were looking at a modern one, that would say 200. So don't get put off if you see that the denomination is different between old and new. There's the same weight in gold, but they actually then just change the series partway through the run. If you are a stacker rather than a collector, then I would advise you go straight for this year's Pandas. Go for 2018, 2017, and get the half ounce or the 1 ounce Pandas. They have the lowest premium, and you can pick them up pretty easily. If you're a collector, then there is loads of interesting variations because of the multiple mints that produce some of the older pandas. And there's the small date, large date varieties. There's varieties with frosted bamboo, shiny bamboo. And you can spend many happy hours looking at the different varieties and collecting all the different varieties. But if you just want pure gold weight, then even the new one makes a very, very good low margin choice for collecting gold bullion. And even in the UK, which tends to be quite a difficult market for pandas, you don't find them very often. They're quite unusual to come across. Mainland Europe, they're easier to track down, particularly in Germany. But dealers like Atkinson's, dealers like Hatton Garden Metals, you'll often find pandas available at just a few percent over spot. And Chards is also another good source of pandas over in the UK. And of course, there's no shortage of places in the US selling pandas, and any one of your usual bullion suppliers will be able to supply them. They tend to be a tiny bit cheaper weight for weight in the US compared to the UK. So whenever I buy pandas, I always order them and save a couple of pounds by having them delivered in America. But if you do want to buy them in the UK, they are certainly available. Maybe a tiny bit more money to pick one up. I've noticed a lot of the Silver Forum members collecting the 1/20th of an ounce, the 5 yuan pandas, the old ones, and building a collection, slabbing them. And I think there's a lot of people who collect the smaller ones, which are 1/20th of an ounce or 1/10th of an ounce, 1 gram or 3 grams. Because they're so much more affordable to buy. It's a smaller chunk of gold. However, I think the sweet spot for most people is the 1/4 ounce or 8 gram or the half ounce or 15 gram pandas. I think that's the best size in order to slab, because then the slabbing cost is, relatively speaking, a good percentage or a better percentage or a lower percentage of the cost of the coin. But there's a lot of people, even the people like this collector who collects the big gold pandas, also picks up the little ones in a collection as well. And you always find when these come up for sale on eBay, there are lots of bidders for pandas. Lots of people are looking out for them, and generally they're very, very easily tradable at pretty much every size. I'd say maybe the 1 ounce pandas are slightly less tradable than the other smaller sizes. Because it's a larger chunk of gold, fewer people who have that kind of disposable cash. So they can sell, they do sell, they will sell maybe at a lower premium, and they may take a week longer to sell, but they're still a pretty good bet. How are pandas going to do going forward for the next few years? Your guess is as good as mine. I think there's going to be quite a lot of interest in these going forward, or at the very least the interest is not going to go down. And I think gold being pretty low at the moment, particularly for buyers over in the USA, I think there'll be quite a lot of interest building up for fairly close to bullion cost. Some of these pandas, maybe not these particular ones, but some others, and they'll probably make good money going forward at some stage. In the UK, we have to be a little bit more wary of bullion coins, because even though gold is actually at a pretty good low price in dollar terms, when it comes to buying gold in pound terms, gold is still not as expensive as it was, absolutely, but still pretty expensive, because the pound is hovering around 1.31 to the dollar at the moment, and it was a while back regularly at 1.55. So if we had 1.55 and we had $1,250 gold, then I think a lot of people in the UK would be buying these and other bullion coins over the next few months.